know what they are, Danny. I've been watching them things ever since I was your age.
You haven't seen what they do to humans.
What are you?
I'm material.
Step forward if you agree with the prompt. Biology determines gender.
I'm Buck.
And I'm here to fuck.
I'm 59 years old, and I'm a trans man. I was born biologically female. As you see, nobody would, I think, probably understand that I used to be a female. Now, many people do, like you just said, believe that sex and gender are one thing and you can never change those. I'm not trying to change anything. I'm trying to show the world that this is how I feel by presenting the outside. But I think denying biology is where we get into a lot of problems.
If you want to be, seen as a man, then like,
Right on.
Who are you to? I don't care. I mean, you do you, whatever makes you happy. But I think like it becomes a slippery slope. It's like, how are we going to deny basic human facts? Like, there's two genders.
I think that causes problems, and it causes problems for me.
Yeah.
Because the minute I start denying your biology, now you feel attacked by me. Right. And I don't want you to feel attacked by me. I never want you to feel, I want to be a part of, if that makes sense. You don't have to agree with my choice of how I live my life, but all I ask for is respect.
What do you have on your driver license and your birth certificate?
Right,
did you
great,
change it to
great.
male or did you change it to?
So that being said, I transitioned to live as a man 29 years ago. So that was way before you see any of this stuff. And I had to acknowledge my biology, right? That being said, my license, I travel the world. It has to say male. Can you imagine if I showed up at the airport, they're like, female? Dude, there's something going on here. But I actually got my birth certificate changed to male. I was the first person to do that here in Los Angeles. But that being said, I kind of think that it might have been a mistake to do that now, looking forward today, because I never thought we would be having this conversation.
I'm glad you said that, because I love that people can express themselves. We live in America. It doesn't matter what I believe, what my religion is. I love that people can live their best life. I'll never, ever in my life protest or try to go against a person who wants to identify. The problem is when you begin to try to change language and you begin to try to change reality, and then therefore it changes on the children, and all of that becomes problematic. If a person says, okay, I acknowledge I'm born as a man or a woman, but I want to identify as this, cool, I respect that. And even if I didn't want to see it that way, and some people may be a little more ambiguous, I wouldn't never disrespect you. I'll call you by your name.
That's right.
Whatever name that you want to be associated with, I'll do that. And I think if everybody in the country can get on that same page, I think we'll see less division.
Trans folks, biology does change. Our bone density does change. Our muscle structure does change. Our testosterone levels do change. So biologically, we do change. Anatomically, now that's where surgeries come into play. So when we're talking about biology and gender that can't be changed, our biology absolutely and concretely changes.
Not the DNA.
But our
DNA does not change.
Yeah, right. DNA is not going to change for anyone.
So you acknowledge there's a biological difference between males and females, because some people on the other side would say there's no difference, like a female, like I could look like a girl, not having testosterone, but I'm still a male.
Some people are male, some people are female, chromosomally. But when we start to take testosterone, our bodies do biologically change.
But what about trans men who don't take testosterone?
Then their bodies don't biologically change.
That means then they're biologically still female, right?
Well, and gender in itself is something we get to choose. Okay,
that's right.
Just like you said.
Well,
right.
in your life, you get to choose. Not you don't get to choose it for the world, but you get to choose it for
I
your
get to
life.
choose my gender because I've been on testosterone for 10 years. Okay, going on 11 years.
But there's some anatomy that will never change.
That's right.
Right? I mean, you'll still have ovaries. You still have the female reproductive system. You said that you had a child.
Yes, I've given birth. I no longer have female reproductive organs.
Right, but you had that. You will never get male productive organs.
Now, when you think about it, the male and female productive organs are similar, and they're nearly the same. They're different. Right. They're different in size.
Even if
biologically,
and they're different in functionality too.
Not necessarily, because the testes and the ovaries are very much similar. One is an egg. One is a fertilizer.
What?
But
and that's the difference.
But I never can produce sperm.
You're absolutely right.
Ever.
You're absolutely right.
And they can never produce ova.
And you guys are saying that gender is like a social construct. Is that what you're saying too, that you could change it? But also, if you want to be technical about it, age is a social construct, your ethnicity and race is a social construct, and I'm Hispanic. I can't say I'm Chinese because I like Chinese food. I could bleach my skin all I want. I could wear Chinese clothes. but
No,
I
race
Chinese.
is not.
It's a
How,
social
how is
construct.
ethnicity going to be a construct?
There's all social constructs.
So
We all
how-
agree
how-
on it.
how
if you look
exactly-
Up, if you look up, is race a social construct? Ethnicity a social construct? Is time a social construct? Right. Everything's a social construct if you want to think about it that way. But we have set truths and we can't change those truths. If you want to say you're a trans man, that means you're a biological female that thinks that
No,
you're a male.
I am a biological male. I'm an anatomically.
I am a biological male. I'm an anatomically.
See, he's gonna have different
I'm
version
still
of it than- and
right.
I think it's really important that you
right,
understand
and,
we're all
and,
gonna
and
have
it's
different views.
anatomic, okay?
Yeah.
Because biologically, I have shifted, okay? Trans meaning going from one to the next.
Biologically and all these things, I know that there's importance for you guys, but meeting me or seeing me, you would never know. So why is it important?
Well, no,
Like,
because
you know, like,
just say,
I'm just
say if I
curious.
was a woman, just say if I was a woman and I wanted to date you, what are you gonna tell me?
I would tell you that I'm trans. What do you
No,
mean?
no, I'm saying you can't tell me that you're a man.
I mean, I'm still a man.
No, but
I'm
you
a
gotta tell
transgender
me.
man.
You gotta tell me that you were born a woman. You have
I
to.
mean, I don't have to.
Well, because if I go down, if I see
Right.
you in your pants,
Right.
I'm gonna see something different, and that will be troubling to me
Right,
if
but
I had an expectation.
But again, this is like leading off the topic. But I mean, to answer your question, if you must know, I do tell the person that I'm talking to or interested that I'm transgender. I don't think that you need it to, you don't need a penis to be a man. You don't need a penis to be a man. And I know that you may disagree, which is fine. Like I get it, but I don't want one.
Now, I have a question for all of you. Do your penises make you men?
yes,
Well, it's part of
biologically.
our-
Like, no,
part of what
that
makes
is,
me a man,
is
yes.
that what makes
Well, I
you a man?
said being a man's ingrained within every part of your body. So our cells are.
Right,
yes, our
but,
penis too.
but if you
someone goes
had
to war,
to if you had to look at the difference between us and between you, now would that difference be the lack of a penis?
If we were naked,
Okay,
I mean,
so
it
if
would
we're
be-
gonna minimize being a man to
don't
that particular anatomy,
we didn't minimize
No,
it to
I'm asking the question. Okay, if we minimize it, because this is where we're going, is anatomy, right? Because that's where we've gotten.
Our basic
Okay,
biology, yeah.
so if we get there, so do your penises make you more men than us?
It's part of
it's
what
not
does.
making more or less. It's we're a biologically man. You're not a biological man.
It's not a spectrum,
It's
so
from-
it's not a question that we can answer because you're saying on the spectrum, would this make us more of a man than you? But no, it's because we are a man and you guys aren't.
Well, we're different.
So
men.
we're not men.
We're
Is
different.
what you is exactly what you just said.
In my view, you guys are appropriating the gender and you are living as a man, but biologically you are not a man. You guys are appropriating the gender and you are living as a man, but biologically you are not a man. So to me, it's not, you can't say, okay, well, does that make us more of a man? That's not even a question to ask because you're not a biological man. When it comes down to asking questions that make me start to change what the truth is and what the truth isn't, putting it on a spectrum when it's an objective truth, that's where I draw the line.
What's the biggest problem with what he said? It doesn't make you. It doesn't make what you feel any different. The biological truth is the truth, and why can't that be the truth? And you also say, but I feel like on the inside that I'm a man and I'm going to present that way.
The argument is that people try to invalidate who we are with that. I'm not saying that you guys are doing that, but a lot of society in the world does that. Well, biologically, you're female. What hurts trans people that people don't realize what they're doing is it's very harmful. You got to be aware of what you're saying and what you're putting out there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, 100%. I would, and that's why I think we all agree. We would never try to offend you or anything like that. To be honest, if I saw any one of you in the streets, I don't care. It's not going to bother me that you want to.
Right.
I would know unless I pulled your pants down or something. Do you feel like it's something that has gone wrong at birth? Like, you're born and you say, well, genetics and evolution says
Right.
this. Why do I feel like this?
yeah,
yet
I mean,
have
I
this?
think questioning it was something that I always wondered because sometimes when people say like, oh, like it was a choice, which I hear a lot on the other side all the time, like it was a choice. I was legit born this way. Like I could remember from, I think 4 or 5 years old where like I didn't feel like a girl. Like I didn't feel like a girl, you know what I mean? And I can't tell you why that happened. It was just my path in this life.
sex and gender, people try to argue that they're different, but sex and gender actually go hand to hand. And our biology, being a man, comes down to every fiber within our body. So whether that be DNA, chromosomes, testosterone levels, bone density, there's a whole bunch of different factors that go into it, and it all has to do with biology.
So biology, I 100% believe in biology. Today we talk about biology being a social construct. I disagree with that as a transgender person.
Together it is.